Is it?
We are live. Thanks for
Oh,
joining us on the J Hood Creative Channel. I've got my pals with me, Al Shell, Coach Vic, and we are here to talk about what are we here to talk about, Coach Vic?
Black Panther. It's
Black
Black History
Panther.
Month. I'm excited. Black Panther. Matter of fact, I'm so excited because Ultimate Black Panther finally came out this Wednesday. I was excited to go pick it up. Went to my LCS, and they have stipulations. I'm just saying. There's three covers. I wanted to go buy all three covers. No, I could only buy one copy, and I had to spend $10 additional. Only $10, $2 I wanted to get. Mace Windu, for obvious reasons, and Ultimate Black Panther, A, B, and C. I guess that's $4. Actually, I didn't know there's a Black History version of the Mace Windu cover, so that makes $5.
Mm.
wait,
So
there's a Black Panther variant Mace Windu cover?
there's a Black
Really?
History Month variant.
Oh, okay.
And so I was excited. I'm like, all right, cool. Go up there and say, well, you got to buy extra. You got to spend. Well, there's only $2 out there I want to get. But and so, oh well. But
Uh,
they said it's going for $50 on eBay. I found all three for $30 on eBay.
I heard the reason the book is so hot is because it like a big bunch of them went missing. Like 12,000 copies went missing from the distributor.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That- Speaking of scams, I went down to this other store in town that shall not be named. I said, hey, do y'all have Ultimate Black Panther? I can't find it anywhere. Oh, the first guy that came in the doors, he bought every copy we had. Tell me that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
sound shady. Really? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well,
every
I
copy
feel that.
recorded
So,
A, B,
Jamie,
and
you don't
C. He bought them all. Huh?
you don't have a Black Panther Ultimate Black Panther #1?
No.
Here's my stack of Ultimate Black Panther #1s.
I feel bad. I feel bad because I did it. I'm the mark. I went
Ah,
and got it.
there you go.
Nice.
I got it, but
They're holding them
Vic,
for me.
Vic, I
They,
didn't
they,
leave out you, buddy. I got yours right here, Vic. I got this for you.
this
Merry
guy.
Christmas. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month, Vic. I got the Ultimate Black Panther #1. So I had my
Woohoo.
buddy with me, and I was just like, hey, I know I can't buy another. What if he buys it? Using my money. And we did that.
There
It's
you
like
go.
with the with the mystery box they had. I saw this one guy. He left with him and 4 kids, and they all had mystery boxes. I'm like,
But you'll
mm-hmm.
probably never get this because we'll never run in together, So,
Okay.
Never meet up.
Oh, I'll
but
meet you in
just
the
know
parking lot.
I'm holding on to it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You got it, buddy.
All right.
I was like, really? That's what we're doing with this? I love Buy Me Toys, but I understand it because people are going crazy for this Black Panther book,
Yes.
which they should because it's exciting. Ultimates is back. The Spider-Man went crazy. The Black Panther is going crazy. Whatever else they're going to come out with, is it going to be as big? I don't know, but I got it
Let's
because
say it.
so Vic. I was talking to Vic on Facebook, and I was like, hey. He's like, hey, if you go in there, get Ultimate Black Panther #1, and I was like, okay. And then he's like, but you can only buy one, and I was like, oh, I want it for me. But I figured I'd look out for you, man. This one's got your name on it. I wrote it on there, so it might not be worth anything, but it's all over. It's in huge font. But what we're really here for.
Wait, before we go any further, let's greet our chat members, our
Okay.
audience members. We got that guy's here.
Me.
We got I almost said Al Gore Vidal again. There's Gore Vidal. Thanks for joining us as usual, Gore. I know you just click it and unclick it. We'll take it. There he is again. Bear Island Comics. How are you doing? He's up in the Great White North of Michigan. Good to see you.
Ooh.
Good pal Jim Small up in Canada. C. Woodard, fellow Hoosier. Matthew Poe is here. What's Al Gore? What's Gore Vidal got to say? In my shop, speculators wanted to buy 10 copies to flip on eBay for 25. He told the owner intentions. The owner said, You buy one for cover price and the guy left. Hey, we don't need guys like that in our LCSs. Talking to Shop is that the future X-Men films are going to be based on the Ultimate Universe, so all these books are first appearances. X-Men comes out in a few weeks, it will be the same. We shall see.
Speaking of X-Men, I got X-Men scoop for y'all.
Magic Lasso, thanks for joining us, man.
How you doing, Magic? Magic.
What's up, Magic?
What are we here for? What are we here for? The clickbait cover thumbnail once again. Jamie is going crazy. Batman is overrated.
He is overrated. I'm tired of Batman.
You love Batman. He's your bread and butter.
I do love Batman, but there's no good stuff coming out for Batman these days. I mean, they're flooding the market. He's in literally every DC comic, and none of them are as good as the stuff I've got up on my wall.
Oh.
Hey, maybe they'll come out with the Ultimate Batman for you.
Hey, there's rumors that DC is going to start their own Ultimate style universe, and yeah, they tried to do that with the year one. Was it year one universe? The one where Jeff Johns was writing the books or something like that. It was a series of trade paperbacks.
Yeah, I read there's a new year one coming out.
I do not. I don't. I know the name Jose Delbo, but I can't put the name to the art.
Next Wonder Woman. Is she overrated?
I don't know.
She hasn't had as many hits, I don't think. Well, hey guys, we're here to talk about Batman being overrated. And obviously, I don't know if you're playing the devil's advocate there, but listen. I had to figure this out. I'm like, is he overrated? Does he deserve to be on the top of the mountain? So I had to go back into the history books. I had to go back and try to remember when, to me, Batman was the bee's knees. So I went back and I found some storylines. I didn't care. I mean, sure, I love, The Killing Joke. I love Dark Knight Returns. And I love a lot of those books. Son of the Demon. Right, Vic? You like Son of the Demon, right?
Of course.
So, yeah, because Green Arrow, it was Green Arrow's storyline. No, I like all those, but I went back and I wanted to find the storylines inside the comic books. I'm talking Detective Comics, I'm talking Batman, and I'm talking even Legends of the Dark Knight. Because
I broke out the Shadow of the Bat series for this.
Oof.
Oh.
Really? You broke it out.
Yeah. Seawood says Earth 1 stuff isn't bad. That's what I meant by the Earth 1. It was or not Earth 1, year 1. It was Earth 1.
I think that I think anything the DC is so just backwards, because it's like, no wait, we need to do this. No wait, this isn't working. They always have the Infinite Crisis. They always have the Future State. They always do this. It's like, just give us some good books. I'm sure they're giving.
Exactly.
It's distracting, man. It's so distracting. All of these changes all the time. Nothing looks good to me, because you flash different. It was like, hey, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I was like, which one do I like? I don't know anymore. It's like, so guess what I got? I got some old comic books. And I realized they don't have the magic, but I guess, I don't know. I can't say that because I don't read the new books. So I'm being hypocritical, I guess. So I'm going to leave.
How many Batman storylines are there right now at the store? Or are they cut back?
Titles? Well, I've lost count. I mean, they do mini series all the time. They do specials like rebooting the villains' origins. They did that for like months on end. I lose track.
I don't know. Is it C. Woodard saying that Batman isn't overrated, but he is overused? That, I mean, if you look at Batman, the way I look at Batman now is but what they were doing with Wolverine for a long time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They were just like, you can't beat him. He's so smart. All right, yeah. So he could just whip anybody. Look, he can beat Superman. You know what I blame? What I blame for this Batman v Superman stuff? Dark Knight Returns, because in that book, Batman gets the best of Superman for a little bit, but then he has the heart attack and all that good stuff. Spoiler alert. But
wait a second. The only reason Superman beat Batman is because Batman had a heart attack?
now he was gonna whip him anyways because the suit was failing. The suit was he would have whipped him. It's just here's the thing: Batman has the kryptonite. Okay, Batman got that kryptonite. He's cheating, but that's the thing. Batman's using his brains. Okay, and that's why in every version since, Batman's been so smart. Okay, so this guy, let's think about this. This traumatic happening as a kid. His parents get killed, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to study this. How? When? I'm sure him training with all the ninjas and stuff they figured out. The strategic masterminds helped him. It's like this guy had to have some real good genetics. I don't know what it is that he can just like, oh, well, I'm ready for these superheroes. When did they study about the superheroes? There were no superheroes. Well, they must have been, right? The Golden Age guys and all that stuff. But I don't know. Batman, in my mind, is overrated in comic books.
You don't really think about it hard.
What was that?
I said it all goes back to Greek mythology if you really think about it that deeply. The Greek gods all had superpowers, all had specialties. There was drama built in, and that's what all the modern heroes are based on.
I just no.
See what it says. I also blame Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Was it? Well, yeah. In Grant Morrison's JLA run, they had the whole storyline where Batman had secret plans behind the Justice League's backs of how to defeat each of them. Like he knew what the strategy was. He had the plan in place in case there was ever some kind of disaster waiting to happen.
Well, if you say it goes back to the Greek gods, they all have major flaws. What was Batman's biggest flaw?
His quest or his vengeance, his lust for vengeance type stuff, right?
Yeah. I think that's what they've kind of built him up as.
And his ego, pretty much. I mean, here's the thing: in the books the storylines I've chosen, it's the best. It's like I think it's some of the best Batman stuff. Like not the one, but the Venom storyline. Well, I'm not giving anything away here. It's about his insecurities and his failures.
Let's pull up your first pick. You want to do that one, or you want to do?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So,
my lines to prove that he's not overrated, that he deserves to be where he's at, I guess. Or what, to me, Batman. The best Batman stories have, as all stories have. They have the Rocky where it's like, hey, I'm building up, I fail, and then I come back, That's just a good story. And, Jamie doesn't have it.
Here we go.
Okay, so my first storyline that really says this made me remember the Batman I like. It's because it's written by Denny O'Neil, your boy, and it's drawn by Trevor Van Eden. Oh, wait a minute, Lopez did the cover, or
he did the inks.
Okay,
so it got Denny O'Neil and Garcia Lopez on there. I don't know that I've ever met Trevor Van Eden. I'd like to.
Yeah, he's one of those guys like, oh, his art's so great, but then the stuff he does is few and far in between. I don't know how old he is, so I don't. So, anyways, in Venom, Batman is faced with the unbeatable problem is that there's a girl that's kidnapped, and he goes and he knows where she's at, and he goes and she's in a sewer system, and he's trying to get her out of there. But there's this really heavy boulder, and he can't do it. He can't move it, and she drowns. Okay, spoiler alert. And then so he goes to the girl's dad to tell her, and he's like, "This guy's the most who gives a who cares type of guy. And he's working on designer drugs. Okay. And Batman's like,
Batman
yeah,
ever.
whatever, leave me alone. But he ends up going back to it because he can't live. He figured out how much the boulder weighed, and it was like 620 pounds, and he couldn't lift it. So he goes and he gets the work. He trying to lift it and weights, and he can't do it. He ends up going back to, for some reason, I think it's because they found the guys that kidnapped his daughter. So he goes back to the guys like, hey, I found you these guys, and blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, here, you want to use these drugs. So basically, the story is about Batman getting hooked on drugs. And then, I see your hand.
So this is Denny O'Neil wrote this, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he write the same story with Arrow? Or Green?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's Speedy. He likes getting guys hooked on drugs.
Okay.
There you go. We don't need to talk about it anymore. That's the perfect. No, anyways. What's cool about this storyline? There's parts where it's like it could have just been about Batman being hooked on drugs and kicking it, which has got a cool scene where he's like, "This has got me. I got it." He locks himself into the Batcave, like after Alfred's already like, "I'm done with you. I'm not gonna hang out with you anymore. Don't text me or call me." He ghosted him, and then finally he gets offered to come back. He's like, "Hey, lock me in the cave for a month and don't." Like, do not like let me out. They got some cool scenes there. So like 6 months passed, he comes out and he's all like, if you looked at the cover before that, he's like all strung out on the chair and stuff. He comes out and he's all like skinny and he's just gone. And then finally he takes a couple more, like a month or so, he gets back in shape, and then he goes to find the guys. They gave him the drugs. And of course, he wins, of course, but you get to see him fight a shark, which is cool, which is like, pretty cool. And then also the venom, the drug, is the drug that brings Bane around. So they use, it's the same. So it's actually used later for Bane. So that's a cool connection there.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed that storyline. That was like was it the second or the third storyline in Legends of the Dark Knight? Must have been the third because it started issue 16.
Yeah.
And Legends of the Dark Knight that title is very much a product of the 89 Batman movie. Really made Batman more popular, and they made it a series of 5-issue storylines made by not rotating team, but new artists and writer teams every storyline, and that one was incredibly memorable from the standpoint of the story, the art, and then, like you said, the fact that it kind of moved the needle as far as introducing a new villain later on down the road. Good morning, Chicago. Schultze. He's out and about. Have a good day, man.
I keep spinning. I don't want to spin. I'm like got my spinny chair and I'm like doing this. There, guys.
I fixed the tilt, so I'm not rocking on mine.
I gotta stop
that. I'll show my first.
I have a question about that last cover, the shark cover. Doesn't Batman have shark repellent?
Only
he doesn't. Here, this is the thing though. They mention that in the book. Like they have like these boaters that have. He's like, if you got shark repellent, because he like tips over these other guys, like these goons' boat, and he's like, well, if you got shark repellent, you might want to use it. And then they like throw it. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. So they did use. It's kind of like a nod to the 66. So, but Batman whipping up some sharks. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, I think that's a pretty cool art right there.
Yeah,
it could just be my idea of art.
I gotta admit though, like my favorite cover is the one where he's strung out and he's in he's got the pills coming out, and that's memorable.
The beard. It's old man Batman.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very Lopez there to me.
I'm sorry, it'd be old man Bruce, right?
Yeah,
that's how they would name it.
Old man Batman.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. That's definitely that, and the one where he's all like in the. That's cool too. I like that cover, but him just sitting there is pretty dope. Oh, that's an after.
This is my first pick to talk about, and this is just really a total rando issue
Blow that up.
of Batman. And
The mystery that never was.
So I've got.
Wasn't that like a combined of like different stories?
Yeah, it's a 100-page giant, so it had like a 16 to 20-page intro story that was new at the time, and then it had this backup story which is reprinted from.
Look at all those Batman books back there, and they're signed.
Oh wow!
That's the Blockbuster, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the second appearance of Blockbuster, which at the time I had no. I mean, he might have been around for years and years, as far as I knew.
They used the same title in that book as they used for half of the other book.
Yeah. I mean, what they would do for these 100-page giants is you'd get your fresh story up front, and then reprints throughout the years, including Golden Age reprints, where you'd have. I was always fascinated by the way that they would render out Robin's undies with the little. It's not focusing with the texture on them, like they're chainmail or something like that. I always thought that was kind of weird.
And why are you focusing on his undies, bro?
Potentially uncomfortable, because I was a kid at the time. I was like, I wouldn't want to wear that.
But you did. You dressed up as Robin, I bet you, a couple times.
I know you had some underoos, some Batman and Robin underoos.
Yeah.
The women of Batman's life, you get nice little.
Is Talia in there? I don't see Talia in there.
She wouldn't have been introduced by this point.
No, Talia dated Oliver Queen. She married Oliver Queen. Keep it straight, fellas.
And this was published in 1970.
Episodes are the perfect episodes. Those are the best.
Hey,
the cover date on this is April 1975.
Hey, Al, they should do that for Barbara Gordon, right? The men in her life. Do that for Barbara Gordon. Have the men in her life.
Oh my goodness, that book would be like an omnibus. 100-page omnibus. It'd be thick, bro. Yeah, that's a what? Is that some Mort or some Dick Sprang, or who drew that?
It could be Dick Sprang or Sheldon Moldoff.
So these are the stories that you think he's not. That's why Batman isn't overrated. Or you think that's why Batman's overrated?
Ooh, wow, well, look at this.
Oh, right in the kidneys. He's like going behind, like, pap.
Carmine Infantino autograph on there.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I don't know what it was about this Blockbuster story. Actually, I do. It was this fight scene right here. I was like, this is the coolest comic I've ever seen, just in 2 pages right here.
Oh boy.
Hey, look. I was 5.
No, that's good. I like Carmine. He's great.
I don't like his art. I mean, I like.
I do. Well, people say the same thing about Jack Kirby. But I think that art style it is art. That's the thing. Like most guys, just like I'm just gonna draw like Jim Lee. I'm just gonna draw like Brett Booth, whatever, Rob Liefeld. I'm gonna be a McFarlane knockoff, whatever. Those guys.
There are Liefeld knockoffs.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
From the ankles up.
So. Talia.
How many times has Batman fought a shark? At least twice.
See, that's why. That's the thing. This combines with the last question. How many times has the Batman fought a shark? A lot of times. That's where he got the green fish scales for Robin. He's got not the big. I don't think they have scales. I don't know. But
right, what Batman story has interested you, Coach Vic?
All right. Well, all right. It's time for a little honesty here. I got Batman for a while when I first started collecting,
Mm-hmm.
and I read it and I read it. It's just like, but you know me, once I started collecting, I need to keep getting issues, so I would get them and I would read them, and I'm just like, didn't really float my boat until I read that, and so I just stopped. But then I read Batman Year One, of course. Now, and the more I think about Batman Year One, is it really a Batman story? I mean, what makes a Batman story?
Is it Catwoman story or a Jim Gordon story or Batman?
Exactly. It's a universe building story. And I wonder if that's what it is I like about it. Well, I think about all the Batman stories that seem to interest me or whatever. They involve more than just Batman, because Batman is kind of boring to me. He's a billionaire who doesn't act like it. Who has that? Who does that? Billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne.
Who gets dressed up in tights and goes out and fights crime when he's got billions of dollars in his pocket?
Well, that too. But and here's my question for you guys, I guess, because Batman Year One kind of starts that off. Is Batman's entire success and need based on the ineptitude of the police department, of the Gotham Police Department?
So that they can't shoot like stormtroopers?
Well, half of them are crooked and half of them don't care.
It was the fact that they were so corrupt, for sure. I mean, that was definitely part of it. And the fact that, somehow, Jim Gordon got, placed into the position of being commissioner. I think in that story, though, he was still just captain, though, right?
Yeah, he's the only good cop.
So, yeah, it's Batman and one guy on the inside taking on the rest of the establishment.
Bringing on the man.
No, he's not bringing down the man. He's bringing down the law.
That goes back to the whole, okay, so up until Frank Miller did Dark Knight Returns and then followed that up with Batman Year One, we had forgotten that Batman, well, for most superheroes for that matter, are vigilantes. They're operating outside the law. They're fighting for justice, and they're trying to protect
justice the American way.
They're motivated by a correct kind of set of morals or worldview, but still they're out punching people. I don't know how far you want to dig into it, but so this kind of rekindles that notion of, he's operating outside the law, and in this case, the law wasn't, keeping up their part.
Yeah, the animated series, Justice League Unlimited, definitely. Those show you, see, the thing is with Batman is lots of times he gets just as anything. You get tired of him, or he just gets too dusty. You just got to give him dust him off, give him a fresh coat of paint, and let people go. No. This mass of just junk that's on him, you got to chip that off, and you got to take him to his core and show him why he is good. And I think definitely the animated series was one of those things that made oh, hey, look, this is pure Batman. This is and then I'd say Unlimited, Justice League Unlimited showed him in more of this is how he can be cooler with more crazier stuff, more in a Kirby verse almost, look at this, you can,
you got away from the ground level crime into a more cosmic level crime.
Yeah.
Or fantasy crime.
In theory, he's almost like a villain, right? In that he has the money, because to me, the villains, why they always did so well was because their technology stayed ahead of the good guys, right? Because they always had nefarious plans. Batman was always thinking, to me, what's the worst that could happen? Hey, I got a bat tank for this. Hey, I got this for this. Because he had the money for it. I don't know who's developing this stuff. Who's this Q? Anybody?
Him.
Well, at certain points, he had people like what's his name that they've kind of brought back to the forefront.
Morgan Freeman? Oh, he was Alfred, wasn't he?
Lucius Fox? Was that it? I don't remember him. I couldn't tell you him from whatever. I think that was more of a movie thing where they're like, oh, he's making all these things. Before that, I always thought it was just Batman making his junk,
All right, so let's pull up one
once again, he's the smartest man in the room, right?
Favorite stories here. Do I go with the annual or the issue of Detective first?
Well, if you're going with the other ones, the annuals and all that are just like ancillary to the Mud Pack. Okay. So that was just to show that it connected. Right. But we can talk about that, the annual, because it's written by Alan Moore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a nice little side piece that he did.
So is he the best Batman writer?
No.
Okay.
He only wrote, I didn't know he wrote this, but he wrote Joke.
So if you want to show like the inside art, which is probably Batman 11-1.
Yep.
So the inside art. Coach took off. He didn't want to be seen. No. So anyways, the annual, the reason why I'm showing the annual is because it leads up to this is basically like Clayface's 3's story in a sense. I don't know if they had it planned out or whatever, but I think what it is good writers will be like, oh, well, we can use that. So Clayface 3 appeared in like Detective Comics number like 478 or something, and it's a dude. He's not connected to the old Clayfaces, the actor, and then the guy that can shift his body into forming other stuff. And so Clayface, look at the art here. Okay, I want to just point out the art. Okay, this is written by Alan Moore, but the artwork by George Freeman, who, like, I haven't seen much. I think he did Elric. He might have done that first. And it's like that's like fantasy stuff, kind of like elves and stuff. But if you get a chance, I don't know if you ever see this, Jay. You ever seen this?
Mud Pack? Yeah,
no, not Mud Pack, but this annual.
Oh yeah, I have it. I probably haven't looked at it since it first came out.
Dude, the artwork is fantastic. George Freeman also did the Alan Scott Green Lantern artwork in the Who's Who's. It's Who's Who, the first. And I've always loved, because it's very, I don't know, it's like someone just swirled the pen and you can see, but it has life. I like, he's one of those artists that I love to seen more from. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's a world out there of George Freeman comic books, artwork, but this is like all I got of him, So, anyways,
did you say this was an annual?
Yeah, annual Batman annual number 11.
Because I'm looking at that artwork. How long would it take to draw something like that? Because that looks like that might take months.
Back then, man, freaking artists could pop out stuff like quickly. So that's a John Byrne cover, I think, right? What is that cover?
Yep.
I mean, but that page is just so intricate and detailed with so much going on.
And the other page, it's like a collage of stuff. But it leads. Okay, so this leads to the Mud Pack, and when this is 89, around 89, 90, whatever. It had to be in 89, 88, 89. That's when I started really buying comic books. And I bought some before that, but the Mud Pack was the first, like, I think in my mind, miniseries inside, the story arc inside of like a Batman book that I actually dug. And it's over the top. It's so crazy, and it brings all the Clayfaces together in one form or another. And I think it would have made a very good Batman animated cartoon or something like that, because it starts out to where they break Clayface 3, and if you don't know who Clayface 3 is, it's a guy I showed before. He, unlike the other Clayfaces, he can't form into anything. He's like basically just putty that can melt people by touching them. Yikes. But he has an exoskeleton that keeps them together. And he just has some cool scenes where he like just he'll grab you with his bare hand and he'll just melt you down. It's like bleh. So he was scarier than the other Clayfaces, but his brain, he's not very smart. So Mud Pack, why I like it, it's over the top. Okay, so the Mud Pack had the original Clayface, the actor that would just wore like, you know, the makeup or whatever, the mask. He basically gets Clayface 3 broken out of Arkham Asylum, and but with Clayface 4. Clayface 4 can basically do become anybody and has their powers and stuff like that. So she, Clayface 4 is a female. She takes the form of the Looker, who is a Outsiders character. Okay, Outsiders, Batman the Outsiders, and she makes Clayface 3, you know, like her and stuff. So, anyways, they get him out, and then all 4 Clayfaces. Well, in a sense, because the Matt Hagen Clayface is dead, and they can't resurrect him for some reason, and so they have him like this. They have him held up like a spoon, where he's just a slab of like melted clay. It's funny. You gotta check that out. That's what I like about this, is because it's got comedy, it's got some scary parts, and it's got some detective work. Another thing that Batman needs to have is some detective work. And then, of course, you see the ghost of Robin, which they replay in Hush. They have Clayface 4 emulating Jason Todd, and this is like right off the heels of Jason Todd eating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is back in what, 80 something, 88, 89, and they already done that. So Hush isn't fresh as much as people love it. He does that. They also emulate him as another Batman. So they do the classic, hey, Batman's robbing stuff, you know. But the whole purpose of it was the original Clayface, number 1. He took all the like samples from each one of the other Clayfaces, and he had it made into a potion that he took, becoming like the ultimate Clayface. So he could melt people, and he could turn into people. He could turn into stuff, which was like, ooh, this is cool. The only problem is that he didn't have a containment suit to keep the heat or whatever it was, the melting stuff, to keep him from going through stuff. So they charged him. We got him really hot and bothered, and he melted through the earth. So he's in the core. He went into the core of the earth, and they never seen him. And to my knowledge, they never brought that version of the Clayface back. It's kind of a shame.
That was kind of the interesting selling point at the time, was that they were like, did you realize that there are many different Clayfaces, and we're going to put them all in one storyline? And to be honest, I didn't know it at the time, or at least didn't realize it. But I probably hadn't studied the who's who to pick up on it.
Yeah. Oh, dude. When I was a kid, man, who's I would like, that's what I had. I was like, oh, look at these. And it had the 3 Clayfaces in there. And I wasn't familiar with Clayface 4 because I didn't really keep, I guess it's an Outsiders. The Cobra guy in the from DC made Clayface 4, and she was their villain for a while. And so it's like a cool callback. But the other stuff I was showing you for Clayface is that they actually kept, because most books would probably be like, oh, well, he was in Arkham Asylum here. We'll just have him walking around over here, not, you know, picking his nose. But that's what I liked about the previous books, like the Alan Moore book. They have another book by Lin Wynn, who actually co-created Ween or Wynn, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He co-created Clayface 3. So
yeah, that was in the Marshall Rogers run, right?
Yeah.
That covered. I have 2 questions about this. One, thank you, Jamie, because on issue 3, I realized something about Robin.
Which was?
And that is, he has scaly draws on again.
He's always had scaly drawers. Yeah, this is his first appearance. I do believe it is Marshall Rogers and Lin Ween. Sorry.
I've heard it pronounced Ween.
Oh, wait a second. So there's 5 clay faces, and the one that you like the most, they haven't brought back. Is that what you were saying?
No. There's 4 clay faces, and the one I like the most is Clayface 3. That was the one. That was his first appearance. And you really got to go into the back. Like, there's so many cool like characters that were popped up in some of these old detective. I find Detective Comics has had more of the better continuing storylines that I found, because like Mud Pack, those two, that was a double issue, and it kept going. It kept a continuity that was like, it was worth paying attention to. I want to say.
You're right.
The Hugo Strange stuff was mainly kind of in a Detective Comics too, but hey, and there you go. Well, Clayface. I think Clayface 3 is a cool. I would like to see him in a movie or something, just Mountain Dew, just like you know. I don't really care about, hey, I can turn into a car, or I can turn into a bird, a big mud bird, which, you know, it was cool in the cartoon. They did that. They had the second one, but they just said they mixed in the cartoon. They mixed the first and second one together because he was an actor, but it was a Matt Hagen. It wasn't the Basil Karloff or Carlo, which was an obvious ripoff of Boris Karloff. And actually, it was more like a Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney Sr. Yep.
Yeah, because he was the man of 1,000 faces. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Coach Vic, what do you look?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
If you had a comment to wrap us up there, that's fine.
No, well, it's just that so if Batman would instead of invested his time and money in building himself toys and just built a good prison, we wouldn't have all those problems.
Well, that's kind of
what. Like everybody's breaking out of Arkham Asylum, whether they feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just waiting.
A lot of money. He could be a philanthropist and actually invest his money in the Gotham City and not just, I'm going to go beat up some hobos.
Oh yeah, I'm not even going to talk about how he could build up the infrastructure with his billions of dollars. Like, I'm going to clean this from the bottom up. Yeah, it helps to break down a couple of buildings too.
So, what story do you want to talk about next, Coach Vic?
I don't have one really. I mean, honestly, I've read Batman. Nothing really stood out to me.
Okay.
From the current run I've read. I mean, I read year 1. I like that. I started reading Superman versus Batman. I'm intrigued, but
so Coach Vic is the guy that says Batman is overrated.
Oh yeah, I mean, once again, he's just a billionaire living in his white privilege.
See, that's the problem. I think I know people love Clark Kent, but like the secret identities are kind of passe now. Like a billionaire playboy, to me, just like if you were gonna be Batman, you're not gonna want to be. You gotta be on the down low, bro. You can't be freaking, like, oh yeah, I gotta go to this this gala event and blah blah blah, and let them know that I'm not Batman by parading around and
Elon Musk wants everyone to know that he's Batman.
He's the ass man.
He's going to have a video. He's going to have a videographer following him.
You know what? I think I figured it out. I figured out why I don't like Batman and why the whole billionaire playboy thing bothers me. It's because I saw Iron Man the movie. That's a billionaire playboy.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's still fighting crime. But he's living the good life too. Of course, Batman, he's just eternally depressed, right?
Right. He's
a
tragedy. All right, what do you got to say about Arkham Asylum, Al?
Oh, I was just gonna say that as much as it's art, it was definitely art. I had trouble reading it, but that was my 12-year-old brain.
Hands. I was older than 12, but I had trouble reading it too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, it was. it definitely was a art masterpiece, and written by Neil Gaiman, I believe. No, it was Grant Morrison wrote it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grant Morrison. I'm not the biggest.
Oh.
I just lost Gore Vidal.
Gore just unsubscribed for the 8th time.
Yeah,
Just unbelievable.
But speaking of Arkham Asylum, here's my next pick. The Last Arkham.
Wow.
So this is the first storyline from the Shadow of the Bat series that was launched in the early 90s.
My boy, Norm Brayvogel. Can we talk about Norm Brayvogel?
Mm-hmm.
Loved Norm Brayvogel. He's the one. Yeah, I love Norm Brayvogel.
So he did the interior art. I was always captivated by these Brian Stelfreezy covers.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I love that cover. Yeah.
As an aspiring artist at the time, he is the artist I aspired to be. It was just masterful doing painted covers.
He did an annual of X-Men. It was an X-Men annual book, and he did the insides, and I was like, oh my God, look at this. This is beautiful.
Yeah. So the storyline presented in these books is it goes back and explores the origins of Arkham Asylum to a certain extent. Introduces the fact that it's named after a family that their last name was Arkham, and that one of the heirs of the family is kind of running the place, and it introduces a new villain, Mr. Zaz, who's not actually pictured on any of the covers, but he's a serial killer, and he's in Arkham. But his thing is that, like, whenever he kills somebody, he slashes a hash on his skin. So he's got all these hash marks all over his skin.
Is that his first appearance?
Yeah, it was his first appearance.
And today he'd be rebranded as hashtag.
Now.
Yep.
There you go. Hashtag. I love it.
Speaking of Norm Brayvogel and our appreciation for him, so I've got, this is issue 4. This is the original art piece that I've got in my collection.
Really?
Yeah. Poor Joker.
And I can tell you, the black and white art looks tons better than this oversaturated color art does.
Hey, you watch it, pal. You watch it with oversaturation knocking.
But it's funny that you don't pick up on, like, all the, like, you can see all the different utensils and pens and markers and stuff that he used to ink his own work when you look at the original, and it just all disappears on the printed page, and it's a bit of a shame. But I felt fortunate that I got a nice action scene. I've got so many of the classic Batman villains, and I'm very happy to own that. I've shown it on the channel or on some other shows in the past, and I have to pull it out and get it framed and probably replace my wall with my comic art collection. Let's see. Catching up with Gore Vidal's comments. Fantomas, my icon, is the Playboy. He dated Linda Carter, Bo Derek, Carla Cardinal, Bridget Bardot, Jane Fonda, and those are just the real life characters. Yeah, sorry, Grant Morrison. Fantomas is a Mexican comic. Yep.
They did a video about it.
Yeah, check out Gore's content for great insight on Fantomas.
Gore's channel.
A wide plethora of some higher brow comics.
Now you didn't come here for that. He's slumming here.
Yeah, for sure.
Wonder Woman.
Unbelievable. I'll tell you, I know these aren't Batman comic books, but I am adding to my Captain America collection.
There we go.
Look at these beauties. Look at that. Picked it up.
That's cool. Who did that cover? Do you know?
Well, I think it's Burn. Burn with some inks on it. Somebody inked it. Yeah, it's very burny.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That one's
Look
definitely
at that. That's definitely Burn.
burn.
But
Burn.
there you go. This is like, I think it might be Al Milgram. I don't know. He's got a kind of a Kirby.
Yeah,
smash.
Al Milgram's style kind of evolved over the years.
Yeah. That's 242. And then look at this is a Perez. It's George Perez.
Very cool.
I love these crazy covers. Then let's just blow his head off. Anyway, look at that. What a way to go.
That looks like
I'm
Starlin.
telling you. Oh, and I picked this up because I've always loved the cover. I've always loved the fly. Nice cap covers. Yeah, back to the cap. I'm telling you, you inspired me, Jamie, a long time ago when I see you had your backdrop of all the Titans up there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know what? What books I got? And it's Cap. I've always loved Captain America, like because of the Cap No More storyline. That's when I started getting the Mark Grunwald run. And now that I look back on it, I got tons of them. So like I'm gonna go fill in the ones I don't have. And I know you gave me a big selection of them for Christmas, and I appreciate that. And Cap is I'm on my way of getting all the Cap 100 to 4 something, whatever it was that the actual. I'm not going off this legacy number junk.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to 100, which I already got. And for whatever it was where they gave him the ugly suit.
Gore Vidal just putting a knife in and breaking it off.
The Cap overrated. No, because Chris Evans played him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, back to back. You think we'll get kicked off of YouTube for doing these sensationalized
these
80 covers and
these clickbait thumbnails I'm putting up? I think we're late enough to the show in the show that no one that's actually going to watch a rewind will get this far. Last episode, the last show we did, set my record for I got like over 300 views, and all I did was put a clickbait thumbnail up. I did no hashtagging, zero promotion. Put it up like 20 minutes before the show, and I've had the most views of any show we put up. So.
And some negative comments from people who didn't watch the show.
Yeah,
which I think is interesting.
Like, how dare you blasphemy? Like, I was just like, I'm with you. I think it's junk. Especially besmirching Kirby.
So we're going to continue the trend and see if the success continues.
I'm worried about it, though, because, like, you know, giving Chris Evans validation for actually – I tell you what, Matt Salinger was a way better Captain America than –
we could really increase our audience by diversifying if we said it's Black History Month is too long.
Okay, we'll
that'd be a different type of hate view, I think. I have a life I need to lead.
How I can
29 days. Whew, that's a bit much.
You get the bonus day this year too.
Yes.
How can I tie that into Weapon X, which we'll be talking about next episode?
Ooh.
Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X.
Is this going to be a clickbait show too, or it's like
the thumbnail is going to be like, "We hate Weapon X."
It does.
Oh my goodness!
It'll be Barry Windsor Smith as a hack.
No. Well, I think the Weapon X would probably be more of a bigger name to put on there. As much as I love Barry Windsor Smith, I don't think too many people actually know his name. So if Batman's overrated, Barry Windsor Smith is underrated. Because, you know, most artists and writers of comic books are forgotten. So we need to love them, even if it's, you know.
Ooh.
There's an idea.
Taylor Swift. Does Taylor Swift love Weapon X as much as us?
That's it. That's got to be it. I'm writing it down. Actually, I'm going to make that thumbnail right now.
That reminds me. I forgot we're supposed to be celebrating something this week. So,
Will it let me share this?
There we go.
I'll tell you. But in the end, I think Batman, he's not overrated. He's earned his spot, I think. What's this? Batman is overrated. Taylor Swift thinks Batman is overrated.
Loves Weapon X.
No. Does Taylor Swift? Should. Oh, and here's why. Oh my God! You gotta no. You messed it up. You gotta have Taylor Swift, the name by itself, then loves Weapon X, and you should too. In the next line, Taylor Swift got to be the headline.
There you
go. Oh my goodness!
We'll figure it out.
Oh my goodness! That's hilarious. Taylor Swift loves Weapon X, and you should too. We're coming off the wheels here. It's getting crazy.
Do I get a chance to throw a tribute to something and segue to something else I wanted to talk about?
Sure thing. What you got?
All right. Doc Afra has come to an end for now. Because, they said, we'll be back at the end. But you know what? I read lots of comics that said they'll be back. Ain't been back yet. But yes, Doc Afra, what a great read. 40 issues.
Did you read the whole run?
Yes.
Interesting.
And as I look at this, as I got to the end, I noticed from the back, Star Wars 44. You know who number 44 is? My main man, Barack Obama. And at the bottom, it says the trial of Lando Calrissian. I'm intrigued, aren't you? I mean, we know the answer. He's going to be found guilty. So we have Doc Afra, Lando Calrissian, number 44, which leads us to Black History Month, and my Black History Month issue of Mace Windu.
Wait, I thought, that was the only thing you picked up at the shop.
Yes. Ooh. And then it reminded me, Mace Windu, who plays Nick Fury, and one of my new top 5 Marvel movies of all time, The Marvels.
Really? I haven't seen it. Is it any good?
I loved it. Kamala Khan is a national treasure. They need to protect her at all costs.
I have to admit, I've not avoided the movie. I didn't pay to go see it, but I need to check it out sometime soon. The previews made it look like it's going to be plenty of fun. I know got just bashed by people that posted about it.
Dudes, probably the same guys that don't like Taylor Swift.
So how does it compare to like Eternals?
It was fun.
Dude, people like Eternals.
No one likes
people Eternals. Out there like Eternals.
No one likes Eternals.
Why are they making a second Eternals then?
Dude, I'm just saying, there's people out there. I've read comments. I've read comments. People like it. It's overrated. It's good. I don't know what people just like comedy junk.
I mean, and there's good cameos in here too. We get Valkyrie, and I mean, anytime you get to see Tessa Thompson, that's a good day. But then the pre-credit scene.
Wait, we don't need spoilers. I said I wanted to watch it.
This ain't got nothing to do with the movie.
Oh, okay.
We get Kate Bishop. And
finally, it has to do with the movie. That is a spoiler.
as after the movie's over, right before the credits start.
Huh?
You'll see when you see it.
And then the Joker pops out. Oh, it's
Okay.
great.
I
Never mind.
guess I won't even mention how Papa Smurf is there. I don't even know who Papa Smurf is. Who's the big blue dude with all the hair?
Don't tell him.
Big blue dude with all the hair.
Yeah, and glasses. He wears glasses.
Are you kidding me? You're joking, right?
Yeah, I'm joking.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know a Vic anymore, man. I can't. It's like, okay. That's what they should have done. Everybody dies at the end. That's what they should have done with the last DC movie. Just killed everybody in that.
Yeah.
Aquaman?
They're redoing it. You
Just
know.
implode the whole earth. Yeah, like the mist. That's an uplifting ending to a movie, if you've ever, or book for that matter.
So do we have an agreement to all watch the Marvels? I can't because I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't do it.
I'll hook you up after the show.
They're gonna make you pay for sharing your password.
Yeah.
Not exactly.
Man, I'm fine. I don't need it. I got so much to do. I can't be watching Disney Plus. I haven't watched Disney Plus since the last, I don't know, Mando or one of those shows. I just kind of said,
Ahsoka.
I'm kind of out until the next Iron Man comes out, or the next Chris Evans Captain America. But hey,
all right, let's wrap this up. We're talking.
Love your Captain America covers; they're the best.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, especially Gore Vidal, Magic Lasso, Matthew Poe, Victor. You're already here. C. Woodard. Oh, Schulte stopped in. Hey, thanks everybody for checking us out. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and watch to the end. It helps our algorithms, and you'll find endings just like The Mist, where we all die at the end. Thanks, Gore.
Are algorithms better than Victor rhythms?
All right. What is it, Al?
I don't know.
All right.
There's no backgrounds in this. This is a lot of just like.
This is an anticlimactic ending, is what it is. Keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time, guys.